Why your dog never treats a child like an adult. Lily was 9 years old and had recently decided that crying was for babies. She had not announced this decision to anyone. She had simply begun carrying it quietly. The way children carry conclusions they have reached alone, in the particular privacy of growing up. She had made this decision on a Tuesday, in the back of the school bus, and by Wednesday it had already become a fact about herself that she did not question. Cooper didn't get the memo. Cooper was a 4-year-old golden retriever, large, gold, boundlessly patient, with the kind of temperament that made strangers on the streets stop and crouch down without being asked. He had been in the family since before Lily could remember anything clearly, which meant he had always simply been there, a fixed and golden fact of her world, as permanent as the house and the kitchen and the smell of Saturday mornings. Lily had grown up assuming that Cooper was simply part of the furniture of her life, beloved furniture, warm and breathing, but furniture nonetheless. She had not yet understood that he was paying attention. What Lily had not understood, until recently, was that Cooper was watching her differently than he watched anyone else. Not more attentively, not with more love, differently, as if Lily required a different kind of attention entirely, a different quality of presence, a different set of calculations running quietly behind those warm brown eyes, as if Cooper had understood something about children that Lily herself was only beginning to suspect, that being 9 is a specific and serious thing, and that it deserves to be treated that way, not managed, not simplified, treated with the particular seriousness that 9 years old actually requires. It started with the energy. When Lily's mother came home from work, Cooper would lift his head, wag once or twice, and settle back into whatever he had been doing. Content, warm, unhurried. When Lily came through the door, backpack still on, shoes not yet off, Cooper came to his feet, not frantically, not the spinning, leaping chaos that people imagine when they think of dogs greeting children, deliberately. He rose and turned and oriented the full weight of his attention toward her in a way he simply did not do for the adults in the house. As if her arrival required a different quality of reception. As if she brought something into the room that the adults did not. And he knew it, and he wanted her to know that he knew. Researchers studying dog-child interactions have found that dogs modulate their behavior significantly based on the age of the human they are engaging with. They respond to children's higher-pitched voices, faster and less predictable movements, and lower physical stature, with a distinct behavioral profile, increased alertness, closer physical proximity, more frequent checking behavior. The dog is not simply excited by children, it is recalibrating, reading a different set of signals, adjusting its entire behavioral register to match the specific human it is with. Cooper had been in Lily's mode since the day she arrived home from the hospital. A fact no one had told him, and no one had needed to. There was an afternoon in October, a Thursday, unremarkable in every way, except that Lily had had the kind of day that 9-year-olds have, and don't yet have the language for. Something at school, something with a friend, a small cruelty of the kind that leaves no visible mark, but sits heavily nonetheless, something that had left her feeling wrong in a way she couldn't name or locate or fix. She had come home and gone straight to her room and sat down on the floor with her back against the bed, not doing anything, not crying, remembering she had decided not to, just sitting in the particular stillness of a child who doesn't know what to do with what they're feeling, and has not yet learned that not knowing is allowed. Cooper came upstairs. He didn't wait to be called. He didn't wait at the door. He pushed it open with his nose. He had always known how, had learned it years ago in the quiet way dogs learn things that matter to them, and walked directly to where Lily was sitting, and sat down beside her, not in front of her, not across the room, at a respectful distance, beside her, close enough that his warm fur pressed against her arm. He put his head down on his paws and exhaled, slowly, completely, the long breath of a creature who has arrived exactly where he intended to be, and stayed. Lily didn't say anything. Cooper didn't do anything. They sat there together for a long time, the way you can only sit with someone you trust completely, in the particular silence that doesn't require filling. Outside the window, the October light was going golden and low. Inside, nothing moved. Nothing needed to. What Cooper was responding to, researchers now understand, was not one signal but many arriving simultaneously. Dogs process children's emotional states through a combination of vocal cues. Children's voices shift in frequency and rhythm when they are distressed, in ways distinct from adult distress that dogs recognize as a separate category, and postural information, which dogs read with extraordinary precision across thousands of years of careful attention. A child sitting on the floor with rounded shoulders and a lowered head communicates a specific and legible state. Cooper's nervous system had registered at the moment he heard Lily's footstep on the stairs, heavier than usual, slower, the particular weight of a child carrying something she hadn't put down yet. But there was something else, something that took scientists longer to name. Dogs form attachment relationships with children in the household that function differently from their attachment to adults. Studies using the strange situation protocol, the same framework used to assess attachment in human infants, found that dogs show secure-based behavior specifically toward children, treating them as attachment figures in ways that go beyond simply liking them or responding to their energy. The child's presence actively regulates the dog. The child's distress activates the dog. The relationship is not a smaller version of the one with the adult owner. It is its own thing, parallel, distinct, and in some ways older than anything we have put words to. Cooper had always known that Lily was not a small adult. She was something specific and irreplaceable, a child, with a child's particular kind of need, a child's particular kind of vulnerability, a child's particular and luminous way of being entirely, helplessly present in whatever moment she was in. She had not yet learned to be elsewhere while appearing to be here. She had not yet learned to manage what she felt before it reached her face. She was still entirely herself, in the way that children are before the world teaches them the value of being less so. The Thursday afternoon passed. Lily didn't cry. She had decided, after all. But somewhere around the 4th or 5th minute of sitting on the floor with Cooper pressed warm and steady against her arm, she had stopped feeling wrong. The thing she had been carrying had not disappeared. It would still be there tomorrow, smaller perhaps, but still there. But it had become, in the presence of that breathing warmth beside her, something she could carry rather than something that was carrying her. She reached out and put her hand on Cooper's back and felt the slow, steady breathing beneath her palm, and felt something in herself slow down to match it. She did not name what had happened. She was 9. She didn't need to name it. Cooper knew what Lily was. He had always known. And he had always, without being asked, without being trained, without anyone explaining to him the particular seriousness and particular tenderness of being 9 years old in a world that keeps asking you to be older than you are, shown up for it. Not the way he showed up for the adults. The way he showed up for Lily, which was different, which was everything. If this video stayed with you, share it with someone whose child has a dog that always seems to know. And if you want to understand what your dog is telling you every day, in every quiet moment, subscribe to Silent Paw Pack, because they speak more than words. We just have to learn how to listen.